Hello, listeners, friends, party people. Another episode of Party XP. I'm your host, Lakan, and joining me once again is my friend Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. So, for you, Jeff, and for you, the listeners, apologies if you hear anything going on in the background. My house is currently being constructed on. Is that it? Sentence?
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, my house is being constructed on.
Constructed upon.
Constructed upon. I can English. I know how to do this.
Yeah, me speak English good.
me talk good. And Jeff is currently dealing with his child. So apologies.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yes, dealing with my child.
Yes.
Caring for the love of my life, of course.
See, this is again exactly why you're the parent, and I'm still single and not dealing with any children.
Exactly. That's okay. No, it's so we're going through it right now. You're getting your house worked on. I'm trying to take care of my child so my wife doesn't die from sleep deprivation. And here we are recording a podcast.
In the trenches, baby. Here you go. For you again, you see what we do for you listeners? You're welcome. Be grateful.
Yeah, exactly. Better listen to those ads, motherfuckers.
So how have you been, buddy?
Man, like I've been sort of hinting at over the past couple of times I've been on, we're nearing the end of the tunnel here. He's going to start daycare soon. Everybody's going to start going back to work again. Normalcy is upon us, and I cannot wait.
That's good to hear.
I have enjoyed every minute of taking care of my child, but I'm ready to just be an adult again and not just somebody on vacation for 3 months.
I get you, man. I get you. It's like when anything happens and it just throws your schedule out of whack and, kind of changes up your life real hard. I'm assuming it's a massive shift, right? Again, take it from me, the guy who has no children and doesn't have to worry about it. It gets easier.
Oh, thanks.
I got you, fam. I got you. I'm here for moral support, okay? That's what I'm here for. So in light of all of the hecticness that me and Jeff are dealing with, me and Jeff, whatever, that we're dealing with, I'm going to give Jeff something here, something that he can kind of like pick up, put down, and basically play it with one hand. Nothing sexual.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. So have you ever heard of a game called Vampire Survivors?
Oh, I thought this was Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh, yeah. No. Easy one-hand game as well, too.
I have heard of Vampire Survivors. It's something that you've talked about a few times. It's something that I've seen online quite a bit. And sounds like a fun little game, but I don't know too much about it. Okay, cool. So, yeah, this game's really, really fun. So Vampire Survivors is a roguelike shoot-'em-up game, kind of, developed and published by Luca Galante, a.k.a. Punk. This game is what I like to call it a one-stick shooter, if that makes any sense. So you know what like a two-stick shooter is, or a twin-stick shooter is? Like usually it's like a top-down perspective, one to move around, one to aim with, right? This Correct.
game, no, you just move and the weapons fire automatically, intermittently. So you just go around picking up whatever weapons you want to do, and then they fire off and kill all the things around you.
Would you call it a bullet heaven? I
don't know if I can even call it a bullet thing, because you are the only thing out here throwing out projectiles. Yeah. It's kind of like it's weird because it also kind of gives me a little bit of like zombie, like a zombie game kind of survival thing going on, because of like the insane amount of enemies you'll see on screen. But we'll get into it when you play the game. But let me give you a little bit of information here on this game. This game started development in 2020. I believe the developer Luca Galante was unemployed at the time, so he just had time to develop a game, basically. And he was also an admin for like the Ultima Online server. So he was developing this game. It got like an early access period in 2021, and it was kind of relatively quiet for the most part. And then it had a huge boom. Like at least the way I heard about it was like a bunch of VTubers started playing it. Like every one of them was playing it, and I'm like, what is this game? And I couldn't get away from it. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? I see it. It's $3 on Steam. And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I can't, if they're addicted to this game, then I'm sure it can't be that bad. I pick it up. I lose like 20 hours of my life to this game really, really early on. Really, really fun. And this game is basically out on all platforms. It came out on Mac OS, Windows, Xbox One, and Series consoles, Android, iOS. They came out in late 2022. And then a port for the Switch is finally coming out on August 2023. So very soon here.
Very cool. Yeah, it kind of had that like Among Us boom, right? Where Among Us was out for a little while. Nobody was really playing it. The pandemic hits, and then everybody and their mother, including us, is playing it. And it's everywhere, and everybody's talking about it. It's kind of what I get the vibe from Vampire Saviors, right?
Yeah, Vampire Survivors. Yeah, basically.
Oh, Vampire. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Darkstalkers, Vampire Savior.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Because again, it's kind of like, again, like started developing 2020. 2021, it gets like a nice little bump and I remember every streamer like started playing it basically like at end of 2021, and then it just exploded. And like I'm trying to remember exactly when's the first time I saw it, but I can't dig through my YouTube archives at this point. But yeah, like again, it just got massive, very similar to the Among Us boom. Yeah, just you couldn't get away from it. And to be fair, it is like a really simple game, but like just there's a lot of fun to this game to still be had, because even considering how simple it is, and very much so like I'm like a fan of this, like just this retro aesthetic as well too. Reminds me very much of like Castlevania. But yeah, like, it's a really simple game. It's easy to play, pick up, put down. Again, one-handed. You have a child, so really easy for you to take care of your kid, and then just off to the side, if he's like taking a nap in your arms or whatever, you can play with one hand, perfectly fine.
Can you please splice in Billy Zane from Titanic screaming, "I have a child! I have a child!"
I got you, fam.
I have a child! I have a child! Get him out there! Please, I have a child!
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, again, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, because I kind of just wanted you to get into the game, because it's like it kind of explains itself very, very quickly. It's just you control a character that walks around firing automatically against a continuous wave of monsters, and you just survive as long as possible. That's basically it, and you just pick up weapons as you go. So like every other roguelike, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, just how simple this one is, there's a very, very specific reason for why I think this game popped off so hard. And I think you'll probably see it right off the bat.
Very cool. Looking forward to getting started and digging in for sure.
Okay, so listeners, there will be a short break here. And by the time we are back from the break, it'll be about a week or so for us. And we'll see how Jeff feels about Vampire Survivors.
See you then.
Okay, listeners, we are back. It has been about a week and some change. Jeff, what do you think of Vampire Survivors?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying I am playing Vampire Survivors. I'm not playing Vampire Saviors right now.
Just a vampire, then pick anywhere with an S and just throw it in there.
Yo, over under 3.5. Me saying Vampire Savior instead of Vampire Survivor. Like, take the over.
Vampire Salsa. I've been playing this for a week now. It's been pretty good.
Vampire Stromboli here. I've been playing the mobile port of this game, and I got a few hours, right? Mm-hmm. So like I've gotten some time into it. So I haven't really gotten everything out of this game, and I haven't played it on PC. I have it downloaded, but I've been playing the mobile port. That being said, this game's fun. Like, this game's a lot of fun.
Good to hear.
It's super addicting. Like, I think it got to the point where it was a game that I was thinking about when I wasn't playing it, which is like what you want from everything that you're playing, right? You want to think about it when you're not playing it. Like, I do that with Street Fighter all the time. I always think about Street Fighter 6 when I'm not playing it. And this cracked that for me, where I got to the point where I was thinking about it when I wasn't playing it.
That's really, really good to hear. Yeah, because I was the same way when I got this game early on, because again, I did I mention it before? I don't remember now at this point. Anyway, like, because when this came onto the scene, at least onto my radar, I remember hearing about it in like a gaming podcast, and then every VTuber that I watch, and all the ones that everyone from Hot Live basically, like, was playing this. All the Japanese VTubers, the Indonesians, the English VTubers, I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is this game, and why is everyone obsessed with it, basically? And then I got it. I was like, oh, it's $3. Like, why not? I'll buy it on Steam, and then just like, yeah, like I lost like an easy like 4 or 5 hours of it just playing this game nonstop, just because like how quick it is to pick up and just go, because you don't have to do anything other than move. And like, and the thing is, like, I remember when I like after a little while, I was like, oh, how come this is not like, this isn't coming out on like a phone? Like, this would be like perfect for like a one-handed kind of game thing. And then I realized, oh, there's a bunch of like Vampire Survivor like knockoffs that were on like itch.io or whatever the survivor.io, whatever they're calling it, itch.io. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's similar, but it's not exactly the same, but it's fine. I'll get a couple of them because they're free. Why not, right? And then when I brought this up to you and I mentioned that they had a proper like full phone port, because like they were like, okay, there's a lot of knockoffs here. We're just going to put our game out for free. You know what I mean? Just like on phone and just letting everybody play it.
Right. So you get the real one.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. Like it works out perfectly. Cause again, this is like a perfect, like, anybody to pick it up one hand, and kind of just go, like if I got, like, 20 minutes to kill, because the runs in this game like are like anywhere from like, if you fuck up super early, whatever, but the runs themselves are capped to like 20 or 30 minutes, I believe, per stage, depending on what stage they are.
You feel better about my experience then.
Oh, what? Yeah. So like, yeah, but like the runs are like capped at that point. Like kind like soft capped. There's like a way to technically win a run like by killing like essentially the Grim Reaper that like kind of slams you right at the end of the level. But like there's specific builds to do so, or you know, stuff to have to find, and hopefully you can get to that point to actually do so. But yeah, like, you know, I've had runs go from like 5-10 minutes, cool, I died, start it up again, like why not? You know what I mean? Like this game is so friendly to like pick up, put down like players basically. Like this is like in my opinion the perfect like phone game.
Yep. So the gist, I don't know if you heard the baby coughing. He made his debut here.
Oh, good.
So the gist of the game is like you're a vampire hunter. It's got a very Castlevania aesthetic, right?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure the sprites are basically just like from Castlevania.
Yeah,
like, if really not, they're very very similar.
Yep, they really do look like it. So you have 4 characters to start. You have Antonio, who's basically your Belmont character. He has a whip that auto attacks every so often, right?
Yep.
It's a short range, high power weapon. You have Imelda, who has a magic wand. She gains more experience than everybody else. That's kind of like her gimmick. And yeah, all the characters have gimmicks. So Antonio gets more damage every 10 levels. Imelda gets 10 more experience every 5 levels, 10% more experience every 5 levels. Pascalina gets projectiles, like her projectiles move faster. She's also like more of a magician type character. And Gennaro, who was my character, gets a secondary projectile every time he picks up a weapon.
Yeah, so +1 to all weapons that he picks up, basically. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So he gets knives at default. Pascalina gets the diamond. If you've played Castlevania, all of these sub weapons kind of seem familiar to you, right?
Yeah.
Imelda gets a magic wand. Antonio gets a whip. There are other characters. I didn't also buy the DLC either, so I'm sure there's DLC characters and other stuff like that.
Yeah, there is, and it's one of those things where it's just like there's so much to do in the first place. So like honestly, try to get through all the characters in the first place. Like again, it's been like I don't know a year or two now since this game's been out. Like a year. And I'm still chipping away some of these characters, like you know, because some of the runs, like you know, like you have to do specific, meet certain conditions to unlock certain characters and new levels, and you know, more often than not, I kind of just end up falling back to like I like this level, I like this character, I'm just gonna mess with them basically, right, and just kind of like play the run, and then I'm like, oh sweet, I unlock somebody else, and like okay, then I end up going back to like the characters I've already played before.
Exactly. That was kind of the first thing that I did was I played a run with every character, and I was like, who do I like the best?
Yeah, that's a good way to start off.
And like when I first had Antonio, I was like, ugh, like I know I should like the vampire hunter character the best, but I don't. So then I tried the other character. I played a lot with Pascalina for a while because I like the diamond weapon. And then it just got to the point where Gennaro, I felt like you got immediate returns at all times, right? Because every time you picked up a weapon, every level basically you got a benefit, because every level I would just pick a different weapon and I would have 2 of that weapon, 2 Bibles, 2 holy waters, 2 of the magic wands, 2 of like the lightning rings and stuff like that. Whereas these other characters only get their benefit every 5 levels, and hell, Antonio gets his every 10 levels, and I'm like, I was barely making level 10 when I was playing the game, so why am I going to get why am I going to use a character who I'm not going to get any benefits from, right?
Yeah. Did you mess with it, like the roguelike elements of this game, where like you know you can upgrade your okay, so that's another thing too, where like obviously you can make certain runs, just overall runs easier by like giving yourself some extra health or regenerating health over time, more damage, extra projectiles over time. So you can kind of like buy all these things to like give yourself like the Gennaro like passive essentially to your like you know within the game,
right?
Even more so with him because of the fact that he already has a +1 no matter what to all of his projectiles.
Yep. Once I settled on a character, that's when I started doing the roguelite stuff, you know, getting health recovery, max health, more damage, the bigger area of effects.
Yeah.
That was kind of the way that I approached it. It's like, I got to find my character first, kind of like Hades, how I did it, where you find your weapon first, and then you mess with all of that. In this, though, because your resource system is the same for buying characters versus buying upgrades, it's a little different than in Hades, where you don't really have to worry about buying your weapons. Also because your weapon upgrades use a different currency than the roguelite elements.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more of like what am I going to do? Am I going to try this new character, or am I going to try to upgrade my character so I can get a little further here? So that was kind of the struggle, right? But I think once I found my character, and once I kind of got better at the game where getting money isn't such a big deal.
Yeah, you can start dumping money into whatever whatever stats you want, basically, at that point.
Exactly. And then it's like, well, I can buy this
every character gets better, too, as well, on top of it.
And then I can also, I don't feel bad buying this new character because getting money is not going to be that hard for me.
Yeah, that's also fair. I get, like, for me, like, a lot of times it's like I'll kind of try to win a run with every character. That's how I kind of tend to play games like this. So there is little peek behind the curtain here for you listeners. I was considering giving Jeff a couple games that are similar to this. There's a HoloLive game that's also free that they made that's very similar to this, but it's like a single stick shooter as well, but like you have to use like the space bar or shift bar to lock your weapon in a particular direction, which is kind of cool. But that one focused more on like weapons and character abilities. There's like it kind of does like a mix of both basically, which is kind of a cool thing. And then there was there's a lot like the Vampire Survivors, because of how big it was, it like inspired a lot of other games. And like there's legitimately like, I don't know, if I look through my Steam right now, there's like 5 or 6 other games that are basically just this game with little twists on them, like that I still have in my library that I purchased. Just like this is like a really cool style of game that kind of came back. Like like twin stick shooters have been around for a while, right? But this is like very, very simplified version of, like, again, I like to call it a one stick shooter because of how simple it is and to pick up. Is like it became very, very popular and inspired a lot of other games. Basically, it kind of became its own genre. Like people, like I've seen people calling it like survivor likes essentially. But yeah, like I wanted to like talk about like the variations of this game versus other games, and but like just this game, even on its base like setup of how this whole game works in the first place. Again, like I think in the base game there's like, I don't know, like 20 something characters right off the bat. Every character uses a different weapon and different stats and stuff. It's wild how deep the game got. Like because it felt very bare bones when it first came out, and they just kept adding characters and secrets, and then they got to the point where I think you can combine certain weapons together to get like upgrades. Did you get to that point?
No. So the one thing that I'm kind of ticked about is that I always kind of felt like I was just scratching the surface of the game, and either I wasn't good enough or I wasn't leveled up enough in the roguelite elements to be able to finally break through. A lot of the time I spent roaming, I always felt like there was something missing, right? There was always something that I could find. And I got tastes of that, right? I got like the super secret weapons. Basically, the two that I got were like the stopwatch from Castlevania, where everybody in the whole playing field stops.
Yeah. Or
the spicy curry from Smash Brothers that just melts everything.
Yeah, that melts everything. Yeah. Funny enough, that item used to bug relatively often, so it would never actually turn off. So
the spicy curry?
Yeah, so I remember like having a run go like I literally just like ended up like I already had like a god build going on, and then I had that on top of it, so I just kind of just like put my I was playing on my Steam Deck, and I just like put it down for like my lunch period, and I just let the game play itself basically. But yeah, like I know what you mean. Like, the fire breathing pickup, the stopwatch is really useful. Did you get the like the cross pick up as well too every once in a while?
The boomerang, yeah, of course.
No, the cross like it's like a rosary, I think is the term for it.
The garlic?
No, it's like an actual like it's like a pickup. It's like okay, so there's a little rosary with like a flashing cross on it that wipes the screen.
Oh, I did get that once or twice.
Okay,
yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, so that's one. Okay. There's the other one is like the vacuum. Like it looks like an experience orb with like two orbs or two like outlines around it.
Right. Yeah. So you get all the crystals that you
the experience orbs exactly. Yeah. So those are like the natural pickups you'll get throughout the game, and then there's like the different weapons, right? Like the whip, the holy water, the fire rod, the magic rod, the bouncing diamond one. So like
they did the whip dirty, by the way. I'm sorry. Like the whip sucks.
Yeah, the whip's not great. But that being said, I think it has like pretty high base damage. So that's why that's like
the trade off.
If you get a couple of those and you start getting just spinach or whatever the term,
the spinach is the
you just I think like it kind of like pays for itself after like getting like 3 pickups or something like that. And also, it's really useful as like, if you don't have any like close range stuff, like if you don't get garlic, you know what I mean, or if you're like you need that open spot for something else. So what I was talking about before was the weapons, right? So if you pick up certain combinations of weapons, you can create evolutions basically. So like,
I never knew that.
Yeah. So again, it's kind of like one of those things where like once you get to a certain point, you realize you're living longer and you're getting all the weapons maxed out before the 30 minutes of the run or whatever. The weapons all have like some sort of evolution if you combine them with something else. So like the whip can combine with the hollow heart, I believe it was, and that becomes like the bloody whip, which does crit damage and like lifesteal essentially.
Okay.
The wand plus like the empty tome, I think it was. Yeah, like the basically like fires. It's like a wand with the fire. It's like a machine gun wand with no delay. Same with like the 1,000 edge knives, like same thing, just fires with no delay, just like constantly just spewing knives in whatever direction you're looking at. So basically, you have to max out, a weapon. Again, it can be picked up or it can be the character's starting weapon. Max it out and then find the weapon that matches with it, max that out, and then you're allowed to like combine them for like a special basically. And then usually they're insanely strong. Like that's the kind of the whole point of them. There's also like one of the early ones that I like wanted to find was the combine the Bible with the spellbinder, so then you just have a permanent spinning books around you. So that's kind of awesome. That's kind of like my preferred like my safety ring kind of thing. You know what I mean? And again, there's combinations for like everything basically. So like that's what I'm saying. Like this game is so insanely deep. Like I don't remember like seeing that stuff early on my runs, and then I kept watching VTubers playing it. Because they're just dumping time. It's like a perfect game to stream kind of because like you don't really have to think too much. Right, but you can spend the entire time talking and interacting with chat the entire time.
Mm-hmm. So I approached this kind of like when we did Slay the Spire, which you can go all the way back and listen to, and forgive us for that being our first episode.
Yeah, it was a little rough around the corners.
Yeah,
the whole thing's rough. Not even around the corners. Just the whole thing's just rough.
But listen, so I didn't look at anything.
Okay,
I looked at no wikis, no guides, no videos, nothing. I wanted to experience this as clean as possible so we could talk about it. Once we're done, that's when I'll start to dive deeper into this game, play it a little more, try to do more of like the high level stuff. And
yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah, and try to beat this for real, because I mean it's fun. It's a fun game. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of figured I would just based on the aesthetic and the music and all that, but actually playing it, like you said, it's like it's a perfect game to pick up and put down. You do a run, you do whatever, I do whatever else I have to do at the time, and then it's still there. I can pick it up. And that's the nice thing too about the mobile port is that I can pause, go do whatever else I have to do for a minute, come back to it. The game's still there. And I can pick up from my run at level 7 or level 9 and just keep going from there. I really appreciate that. Also, that like I don't remember where I was going with this. So,
but yeah,
whatever.
For me as well, same thing. Like again, I played this on the PC. It's just WASD. That's the case for it. Again, like I got my Steam Deck and. Same thing with that. Like I was like, oh, this is perfect for the Steam Deck. Just move the one stick and you're done. Basically same as the phone, but the phone's obviously you play it vertically, right? For the phone,
correct?
Yeah,
you can play it horizontally, but I play it vertically.
Yeah, to me, because I played it on PC first and on the Steam Deck, it makes sense for me to like I want to see more of the map around me, right? And that being said, though, like again, like the game is really really good to pick up and put down. And it's like I haven't even gotten to the DLC still. Like and like just from the DLCs, I'm seeing the character sprites. I'm like, oh, these actually look really cool. Like they're very, again, all still very much so heavily, Castlevania inspired and characters and all that other stuff. But like, yeah, it's just like they keep adding more and more stuff to this game. They're constantly updating it, and it's just really really fun. Like again, it's like I understand why it blew up, right? Because it's just the fact that like
definitely, I definitely understand why
it's just so simple and it's so fast to just pick up.
Anybody
and play.
can play this.
Yeah. I actually want to find this here real quick. I don't recall if I mentioned this in the beginning. If I did, please forgive me. But again, it's kind of obscured in the release early on, like when they initially dropped it. And again, by late January 2022, it became a hit. It reached over 30,000 concurrent players on Steam. Like, and then it kept climbing to like 70,000 players next month.
Yeah, I think we did talk about this because I remember bringing up Among Us, where it's another game that's like it came out, nobody played it,
sizzle, and then like if anything, arguably dead game actually, and yeah, then a massive blow up. it's funny because I remember during the I don't really pay attention to the game awards, right? But I remember like this, I could have sworn like this was like mentioned at one point during the Game of the Year awards thing.
No, could have.
If not at least like a bunch of the podcasts I listen to were like, this is an insane game that I can't believe no one even like put into their list. And once somebody mentioned it, all the other co-hosts are like, oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, I dumped like 80 hours into this game when it first came out, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so like a Steam Deck. If you have like a phone and you have the Steam Link thing, again, perfect way to do it that way too, because that's a way for me to keep my progress. Right, I can keep it on everything on Steam, play it on the Steam Deck, play it on my phone. Obviously, on the phone, you have an independent client; it's just all there anyway. So that's the unfortunate thing is if you decide to get it for the computer, then you just have to grind all over again. But at that point, it doesn't really matter because again, the game is like it is addictive. Like I'll just end up dropping like a couple runs in a row and just be like, oh, okay, that was fun anyway. You know what I mean? Even if I have nothing again, like I will spend time playing this game over and over again. But yeah. Yeah. Did you ever notice like the random like acid like floor chicken to heal?
Of course.
Yeah. Like again, I just like these are all just like little references to like other like older games
to the source material, like Castlevania
exactly.
and all that. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I remember like thinking, I was like, I'm surprised they haven't gotten in trouble for this.
No, I mean it's all homages. I mean,
yeah, it's all homages.
I mean? You can't really get in trouble with an homage.
Yeah, that's true. And like they're not exactly replicating the game of like Castlevania or anything. But yeah, like it's like really fun. Even the character sprites, like all the enemy sprites. I'm pretty sure I've seen all those in like some sort, at least in a couple.
I'm sure they're all based on like different Castlevania characters.
Yeah. I really don't have a whole lot of questions for you. I just wanted to know what was your like your biggest thing you took away from the game, or if you had like a particular opinion that you don't think that I would have thought of beforehand.
No, I have some quick hits here that I appreciated. I like when the game. I guess it happens all the time as you start to play and level up a little bit when the characters start to spawn. But I always took it as, oh, you haven't taken damage, so here's a giant horde of enemies. So like the bats, the swarm of bats that would come out of nowhere, or the little plant people that would come out of nowhere. It's like, you haven't taken damage recently. Here, take some damage.
Yeah, I never actually figured out what those swarms are from. I'm assuming they're just kind of timed throughout the run. I'm assuming so.
I think so.
Yeah.
And like I said, I in my cynical view, it's like, well, you haven't taken damage in a while. So
yeah. Anything that's a roguelike that you just assume that they just cranked it up for no reason, and you just assume that they're trying to
good luck with this, pal.
Just realize this now. Have you gotten to any other stages?
No. So that's kind of one of three gripes really, was that I felt like I was always kind of scratching the surface, and I couldn't quite break through. I felt like there was always something missing, or there was something hidden under the surface, and I just couldn't find it no matter how much I wandered, no matter how many roads I followed, how many paths I tried to take. I felt like I just couldn't get to that next portion for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things that took me a little while to figure out in this game, because like I think there's a pickup later on down the line that you'll get in like one of the stages that kind of show you where there are new items on the map. Like there will be like they will spawn new items for you, like specifically to progress you. But I thought the map was like a loop, and it like, I mean, technically yes, it is a loop, like in image wise anyway. The map is like specifically like a laid out area kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like if you like, there is like a bottom left and a top right of the map.
Okay, that was kind of what I was looking for, right? Yeah, every time I would get in there, I would try to like go as far down or as far left as I possibly could, just to try to find something else here.
Yeah, so there will be like an item pickup later down the line where I don't remember if it's a power up, or I don't remember if it's one of those powers you pay for with the in-game currency, or if it's like a tool you'll kind of pick up and kind of just progresses the game kind of thing, where there'll be like an arrow that like points you in the direction of specific items on the map. Because I'm at that point, I'm still at the point of unlocking the other levels. Early on, it is kind of just play, die, repeat. Unfortunately, from what I recall. But once you clear a level, you'll unlock the next level. Okay, that's kind of it goes. And again, unfortunately, like early on, it's like you are a little too weak unless you get a pretty good build right off the bat. You know what I mean? Where you need some of those upgrades early on to actually make it the full 30 minutes or whatever, or get a good build that kind of just helps you survive. There is a certain point, which I don't know if you've gotten to, but there is the point where like your entire screen is just enemies, and the game. It's funny because like even on the Steam Deck. I'm sure on phones, on my PC. You know, like it's funny because there will be like a screen full of enemies and the game's like slowing down frame rate wise.
Right,
like,
it just can't handle it.
Yeah, it's just so funny because like it feels like Sonic the Hedgehog slowdown. That's what it felt like basically. It's just so funny to me when I see it. I'm like, oh man, it's so insane because again, it's like your one character is like the single like, you know, light in like a whole screen of horde of enemies basically. And it's just so funny to watch. And then you kill them all, and then Grim Reaper comes by and kills you. But that means you cleared your run essentially. Again, there's a way to kill it. You just have to find a particular weapon set, which I still haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, like you mentioned it before, like this game is a good game to kind of go into blind, especially early on. But then once you get to a certain point where you've started clearing certain things and unlocking unlocked a couple levels, but you're like, how come I haven't unlocked this thing yet? Or I saw a friend or a streamer playing this and they unlocked all this other stuff and I don't see that stuff. How do I get that? You know what I mean? How do I get to the next levels? Like, yeah, there's a whole wiki of like, you know, people trying to investigate how to figure out how to get certain stuff done. And it was, you know, kind of cool, like watching the community try to come together and, you know, kind of like nitpick, like, oh, this weapon goes with this is how you get this weapon kind of thing, you know. And it was really, really cool to see like everybody trying to figure out the game like a puzzle in real time basically.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the one thing that was frustrating to me, but I knew it was there. It was just I was trying to find it by myself. But now that I know, it's like I'm like confirmed. And it's like, see, I wasn't wrong. I wasn't crazy. Now I can go in there and really try to find this stuff. Yeah. I feel like this game would be perfect for like the drop in, drop out multiplayer. I don't know if the full version or like the PC version or the DLC adds this, but I think that it would really miss like a multiplayer. I think would be a lot of fun for this.
Question. I don't recall. I'm pretty sure it's only single player. I don't remember seeing anything on the screen that says multiplayer or anything on it. It would be cool to see though. Like, you know what I mean? Just like kind of watch two people kind of just fucking up hordes and hordes of enemies basically. That would be kind of cool to see. I wonder if there's, I mean, knowing it might be a thing that they throw in like an update later down the line. Because again, they are still actively supporting this game.
Yeah, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, because on Wikipedia it just says single player, so that's that so far. But yeah, again, it would be cool to see if this has like a multiplayer setup. This would be really nice to have because again, you literally just move around. The game plays itself, and everything essentially is just a hitbox. So right, why not, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think so from what it looks like here. But I mean, again, could be a thing that happens on the line. It'd be nice to see. Anything else that you thought of? Because you had a couple notes, right?
Yeah, the one last thing was just, and I know it's an unlockable, but like getting the experience when you're first starting out and not having it automatically fly to you is such a kick in the pants.
Oh, like
it's
the
like,
range.
I need to go get this stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to maneuver my character yet to go get this stuff, but I need this. I need this to live.
Here's where you unga bunga. And you realize that health is just a resource.
Right, exactly. It's just another resource.
So, like, if I have full health and, you know, I have a bunch of experience and a bunch of enemies, I'm just going to run through the enemies and take a couple hits and just go get it. There's actually a little, not, I don't know if it's like a trick or like a thing that I'm sure other people notice it as well. But on the first screen of every level you boot up, there's always a single green experience ball, like the next level up ball, which will immediately bring you level 2.
I didn't know that.
So in like the third map, it's like a particular like barrel or crate or something that you break open. You know how like you break open like the torches in the first two levels or the candelabras. Every first screen, there will always be a green or like a level 2 experience ball pickup right off the bat.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay. I find that.
Yeah, because it's like blue is the base one, right? Green is like the next step up, and I believe it's like red. I believe is the last one.
Red is the next one up. Yeah,
and I don't know if I ever saw another one after that. I might have. I'm just blanking, but that's like the ones that I always remember, right? But yeah, there's always a green experience orb lying around somewhere on the first screen. Like it's going to be available for you right away, so you can just hit level 2 right away. Or I think it's like kill like 4 or 5 enemies, and that's it. You've already gotten like level 1. But that's actually why I like the whip guy, like because the whip does go through multiple enemies.
It does.
So that's kind of like that's again same thing, and like again relatively high base damage. So you can kind of just use it to like chunk through, like because the first set of enemies comes at you in a line, right? So you just line yourself up, hit all 4 of them or whatever, hit them twice, and then bam, you're level 2 right off the bat. So it's kind of like an easy thing to do, and just try to remember those, especially when certain characters that like have weird weapons that you're not used to. Like there's one weapon that I remember just like not in like it's like a wagon wheel basically, but it just runs to the end of the screen, and it's just like I just hate the reload time or like the time between attacks basically for that thing. So I remember just thinking, okay, let me get to level 2 and grab like immediately grab another weapon just to not deal with the annoyance of this particular character kind of thing. You know what I mean? So just keep an eye out for that, like or to try to kill that first wave of enemies that comes through that hits you level 2, and then that should hopefully get the ball rolling for you, so you can kind of like power through the next couple levels and be by like I remember there's like a thing of like people like, there is a particular set of the player base of this game that like optimizes runs. I mean, same with any other game, right? But I remember seeing like you want to hit like level 30 by like blank minutes in. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, like, it's already this optimized kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
good luck with that.
Yeah, like I'm over here struggling trying to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go or how long I'm supposed to survive for the next level. I'm still unlocking like characters and levels here.
I think I get stuck at like level 12 forever. Like level 12 is like the highest I get to, let alone getting to level 30.
Yeah, like I remember after a certain point, like I can get to like level 20 in like a minute or two or something like that. Again, it might be hyperbole at this point, but it's like I remember getting there faster and like after a certain point, like way faster than I thought I was ever going to. You know what I mean? Because after a certain point, you can kind of just run through enemies for the first little bit, and then once the ball starts rolling and whatever, you can be like, okay, cool, that's it. Like now I'm gonna just start skyrocketing level wise. But
I felt like that was a lot of fun for me when like you finally like figure out what weapons and what items, just like every other roguelike, right? You find out what combination of weapons and items work best for your play style.
Yeah.
And you make like your first breakthrough. Like it was always like fun for me to kind of get that.
Just run at enemies.
Basically just garlic and Bible.
Garlic and Bible, exactly. I like having this little safe space bubble, kind of like again, it feels like a Titan, right? It's like this is the ward, like this is my home, and you will like try to invade me here, and they just die as they walk towards you. One. Like those, I kind of defaulted to those ones a lot. I had to break away from it because, from my understanding, like the garlic and whatever modifier it goes up to, the evolved form of it doesn't do a lot of damage. Like it doesn't scale very well into the late game.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like but I was like, it's fine. I'm early leveled. I'm just trying to survive as long as I can to get the clear. You know what I mean? Especially early on. I was like, I just want to survive. So like, it's fine. I'm not playing for like, level scaling and all this stuff anyways. I'm not getting to that point. So screw it. Let me just get the one that keeps me alive as long as possible. Hopefully clear, and then get to the next level, and then just spend all my money on upgrade points and stuff like that. My opinion, there's no wrong way to play this game. Obviously, right? You can pick whatever you want. But in my opinion, that's like basically play like a bitch for the first couple of levels until you get enough points to kind of dump into your scaling, like your base stats ability stuff. You know what I mean? And then you can kind of just like start like, okay, just, unga bunga, head into enemy, and they just die. And you don't care about losing health because you'll start regenning it, or you'll find floor chicken all the time.
Yeah, that was kind of the way that I approached it in the beginning, was just throw my knives from across the screen and go walk over, pick up the experience, and run away. Especially early on when I didn't really know how to play the game. Now I can kind of mix it up a little bit more, but no, and like you said, there's no wrong way to do this. It's just, well, I guess the wrong way would be to die immediately. But
and just not have any weapons and just run into the enemy. There is a funny thing. There's a certain point with this game, which I want to acknowledge. I don't know if you've gotten to this point yet. There's a certain point where, like, say I have a particular build that requires me to look in a particular direction. So it involves me like actively looking for hordes of enemies. But the issue is when I kill them, I don't have time to go back for the experience points that I got from them. So I have to like do this like weird like kind of like Roomba-ing of the. You
got to do the lap.
Yeah, so it's like I have to go all the way around, run down, move all the way forward, and come all the way back. So like it's like and then I was like, man, I feel like I'm just not leveling, and then I realized I have like a whole like screen worth of like experience just waiting, and then like I pick up.
But when you remember that, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you just hear like that's another thing too. The sound design in this game, fantastic.
Great.
Like again, I don't know if they just took the same sound design from the Castlevania series or whatever, but like it has exactly that like gotcha sound that like just like just hits that reptile part of my brain of just like, yes, numbers are going up, let's go. You know what I mean? It's
the
like
bar is going up, and then it turns rainbow and confetti and
that little music thing when the box comes out too. Fantastic. I love that little thing. It's like a nice little reprieve in within the horde of enemies. Like with the it sounds like a slot machine going off kind of thing. I love that thing.
Yeah, and then it's like, ooh, what am I going to get? And then you get something good, and then you're happy.
And then you get the first time you see the triple one, and then the next time you see the 5 one. Like instead of just one thing coming out of the box, oh, it's so good. It's
I haven't even gotten that far yet.
Oh my god, I'm telling you right now, like if you when you get to that one, you will understand exactly what I mean by like it's like pure neuron activation. It's just like Dogecoin, gamble.
All right, I'm going to play this. So anything else?
No, I think that's it for me as well. Again, if you have any last notes, just go ahead and let it out. But for me, again, it's like a relatively simple game to just pick up and play, and I kind of just get everything all out in one shot, basically, and just keep playing the game because you don't realize how much stuff is actually in this game until you start like diving into the wiki. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
like now that you're past this, like, initial phase of us kind of just talking through the game. Yeah. Like start figuring out like, oh, this weapon sounds kind of cool. This weapon's something that I pick up all the time. What's supposed to go with this? Oh, it's something I don't ever pick up because I don't like the idea of it, but then combined together is really, really cool. So like
exactly.
To start like now that we've gotten past the demo phase essentially of the podcast, start digging in a little bit and seeing the other weapons that you haven't even seen yet, and then start figuring out the combinations of things that you could like, and try to figure out which things kind of dump points into to make your runs just run better, basically.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, good to hear. Okay, listeners, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A little bit shorter than our regular ones, but again, just a really simple game, but again, a lot to just chew on in this really, really fun, simple game. If you guys want to go ahead and try out Vampire Survivors. It's free on Android and iOS, I believe. It's like $3 on Steam and on every other console like Xbox and I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation. I know it's coming out on Nintendo. Sure I know it's coming out on Switch in like a week. That was like a big announcement like recently on like the Indie Direct or whatever the hell it was. But it's coming out to Switch now as well too, which is again like a perfect thing for
perfect game
handheld.
Yeah, perfect
like, again,
game
I played on my Steam Deck. Like the Switch just makes sense as well as that point. So listeners, thanks you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. Give us a rating, leave us a comment on any whatever audio platform you guys are listening to us to. We are actually trying to get YouTube videos up as well too of our audio. We're trying we got a couple things in the works here to hopefully just have them up on screen. It was something to keep you guys interested. Maybe we'll have like Subway Surfer, Subway Runner just playing in the background.
Just somebody carving soap.
Yeah, exactly. The hydraulic press machine with the audio in the background.
All the zoomer ADD
exactly
triggers.
Yeah, we're just be on the lookout for that. We'll probably make an announcement on here as well when it is finally up, basically. But we got a lot of things in the works. We really appreciate you guys for the support. Continue to give us again ratings, share us with a friend, and keep tuning in for every episode. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you soon.
Bye. So yeah, so go ahead and say something outlandish and or racist. Go ahead, Jeff.
Nope.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. Racism.
My son is here.
Just it's fine. He's gonna learn anyway.